mountain, baby. North side of the mountain. Motherfuckers get that real good weed over here. What the fuck you talking about?
Oh, what up, what up, what up, what up, everybody? How are we doing? How are we fucking doing today? I, myself, personally, I'm chilling, always. I guess I'll put this on the actual table.
Vape, but I don't like need to vape, you know? I only do when my friends do it, or on the weekends.
When it's 7 o'clock.
On this days. I mean, it's like too loud. Can you guys even hear me talking? Also, I guess I should check that.
Yeah. You mad as fuck, I'm rapping about the same shit. So let me rap about it and tell you how he got his brain split. Lil' Judy Annie with that nickel fitting fully all switch. Started talking up, he paralyzed, ain't breathing right and shit. All facts, harm, let me jump out on that nigga and get pissy. But let's post it out that corner and he still shooting with me. The get behind his low blood kick you and can't even throw the switchy. I'm locked in with every G, remember I shooting apples with me. Fuck nigga, why would I?
Alright, hold on. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, just grab some switches for the gang. I got a different type of vision. Like, fuck, bro, it's up there. No squashing shit I'm trying to get him. You truly think that I'm a monster if I show you how I'm living? Fucking run that one out.
Alright, wait.
In the midst of got some homies in a prison. Try to answer when they call. I've been my nigga since a kid. It hurt my heart. He hurt him for something. A hero. Always there to help the homie when he fall. He's been keeping this shit for years, so it ain't shit tonight. He's a grave digger. I'm a size niggas. I'm that I'm up because he ain't winning. I'm gonna believe in holidays. Her son was in the cage because she asked me why they scared of me. Because I'm getting graves for niggas. I swear to God, Daddy gonna bend a block about bro, but I could tell he not. Just look at his face when they caught him. You can tell he shot. The bullet hit his head and stayed there, so you can tell he shot. You can tell he yeah. We confirmed kill. Got 2 strikes, I need to chill, but I'm a purge shooter. This has been something. It's been hot just like our third drill. Bitch dread Beller in the song. She seen the word here. There ain't no passes for that boy. I'm trying to hurt him. This ain't the third gen. It's that new generation. That nigga got age, so I've been taking things. Can't live forever when it's time. Just don't forget the aim. Get the show. I ain't going. I'm popping pills like I'm a mental patient. Who got the city anchor? Who fuck with everybody? Who dropped their nuts and walked up when you was scared to pop? You stinky ain't gonna dribble by myself, ain't trying to share the body. By myself, the city popping. Who got the most bodies? Who got the most head? Who got the most hands? Who left this earth with real damage? That was no grades. The ski is spin through by yourself, that'd be a closed case. He spoke on slow names. He got no face. Hey, grab him fully switching. Go grab him baby.
Yeah, so as you guys maybe make a cider.
See me like bring them caves this way. Pick up my phone. God, that shit made me.
Thick. Thrust upon me by my uncle. I don't know if you guys can hear.
But still be posted on the end of the case. 35 what's wrong inside the trenches, then the baggage came. Bitch, bring a bag this way. How are you mad for change? I'm still still buying phones. Trying to delete shit, eliminate. That's still important. Been out the way, I got the my youngest spinning for me. Got this little chicken for him. And he gon' clip me for some I got a different type of vision. It's up there. No squashing shit I'm trying to get him. No squashing shit.
Alright, so I don't think you guys can hear me. I think I can hear me. My little lucky cat here. Hopefully gives us luck with this brewing. I'm not the best brewer. I definitely run into my own share of snags. This particularly is something I've never fucking made before though, so I don't really even know how this is gonna come out. But we got my uncle brought me already cut me. Oh, I did. Okay. An entire fucking thing of goddamn apples. This is a flat. This is called a flat. If you ever worked in like a kitchen or whatever, I guess you call a box called a flat. It doesn't matter. It depends on it. They're about this big. These are gonna be apples that you use for like salads and dumb little shit like that. Apple sauce.
Set of standards.
Cider, like when I make it. So basically, that's really all we're gonna do. We're just gonna be chopping up fucking apples and then throwing them in. This thing right here. This is called. That's a fermenter essentially. We call it barrel. It has like an actual name that my dad and my uncle always tell me, but I can't remember it. You're gonna want to make sure you got all of your stuff right. So this is the top of this little thing. And if you look in there, this comes out. That little thing. You need to make sure that that bitch is in there for real, because I've had some fucked up shit happen without checking that. And then I also have. Not real. I just like the song. These are bungs. Also, stupid name, I know, but this is a bung that you put water to right here, boop, and then they'll over like a couple weeks. That's how you're gonna know that you're fermenting, essentially.
Motherfucker not check
I
it.
guess I'll
And
put it that way so I can hear it. That way you guys aren't getting so fucking
loaded. I'm
attacked
gonna
by music. So basically,
posted on the block, so I gotta keep
I make mead more so it's just honey wine. It's a little bit. It's actually not easier because you have to cook it. So this might actually be easier. We'll see.
It's bullet holes all
I have one more ingredient. Hold on.
We stop in the hood like a tattoo. Really been around, all y'all fools brand new. What you know about being on the front line? All the homies in the pen, yeah, I say mine. Baby, loco, pistolero, compañero. My eyes blue when I turn to a devil. On the 10-9 block, when the sun goes down again.
I've got apriums. All right. I don't know a lot of them, but I got a couple apriums. I don't know if you guys shop at like Sprouts ever, but apriums were something they had a while ago that were like an apricot and a plum mixed together or some shit. Pretty good fruit, very odd, but yeah, I'm gonna be adding those in there as well. So these, I don't think we actually need to do anything to. We can just throw these in our fermenter real quick. So. At the top of my box over here on the ground, that's what I'm going to be throwing everything into. And I think basically you don't need to take seeds out of these or anything either. I might still. But basically, yeah, you're just going to cut that motherfucker in half, cut it in half again, then cut it in half again. And if you want to, you can take that part out, which is the seeds. But I don't. These apples are already so fucking small; they don't really have that many seeds anyway. So we're probably just gonna like do that, right? Just take like a cut it in half, cut that half in half, and then make that half 3. Not because you really need to, but just because fermentation requires access to the sugars, so you kind of need them to be their cell walls breachable. Like you could probably throw this whole thing in there. You could probably throw this whole thing in there, but it needs to be a little bit rotten first, which is the fucking part. And it's very cold outside right now, so I don't want to rely on that happening because it probably won't. So I'm just gonna try to cut these up, not thin, but like as apple slicey as I can, and then put them in there, and that way they'll be easily permeable via the sugars and the yeast. And it's not just something you're gonna you will have to add yeast to this. It's a you could wild ferment as well if you had like some sort of dried fruit like a raisin, because grapes have natural yeast that occurs on them. That's how I made my last mead. I will say, as reference from doing that though, what a bitch it was. My God, it took like 3 times as long, and the alcohol percentage was much lower. So you can wild ferment, you can ferment using wild things. It's just more of like you are gonna have a little bit of a time figuring it out because it is wild.
But you can flare less?
They were also my grapes, so they were out there and I could see the yeast and shit on them, and it still took a really long time. So I would still suggest using
It helps you spend less time managing your
some form of
Apples can deliver
regular
real
yeast. I use Red Star yeast, the normal one that is for like 4 or 5 different types of fermentation, like mead, wine, white wine, and there's one other one I believe.
If you're allergic to
I've tried beer
apples,
yeast before as well. It's not
tell your doctor if you have a new
great when you're making a fruit-based product. Also, this technically won't be a cider because I added the apriums. This is technically going to be a melomel, which is see here, right? This is my Great Berry 8, like Great Barrier Reef kind of is what I was going for with the name, but this is all sediment. This is strawberry and banana juice, like a Kern's nectar. Uh, and it's basically, this is like, not a fermentation, but a secondary sweetening in bottles because it's easier than taking it out of these big things and trying to strain it. And it's safe to drink. Like, it might make your tummy feel a little funny, might make you get a little bit of the shits, but it's not gonna hurt you if you drink it. I like to personally keep it cold crashed so it stays down like this. That way you can pour the clear stuff off the top. It's actually really, really good. So I'm hoping this comes out something similar to this. This was the last meat I made that was like with my wild grapes and then bananas. So it's like those flavors together. But I did have to back sweeten with like actual fruit. Also, anyone in the chat, let me know if you like this. Let me know if you like this sort of stream of me like cooking or something, because that is my very few passionate things that I am passionate about is cooking and brewing, and then also I guess if you guys want to see me in my garden, I grow weed too. But I don't know if I can give away all those secrets. I was taught by an old head. He's not that old, but I'm gonna call him an old head. I was taught by an older guy, and I don't want to give away a secret. But yeah, if you guys like this type of content, let me know because I love brewing. I really do. It's just more of like when I can get around to it outside of.
Put a body on the board, like who the fuck is you? Go zero quick to left, right, the switch ain't got it.
We don't have many apples in here. We're basically gonna have to do this whole piece. So I figured, why not go live? We're doing it. It's gonna take me a couple hours for sure. I got a little down and stuff like that in the room too. So you know. I'm hoping this one comes out though. I think specifically what you need to do is after you cut all these up. Honest, again, my uncle thrust this upon me when he just came over the other day, which was fine. No, but I've been sick, so I was kind of like, oh, I mean, I don't want to waste your apples. I don't want them to go bad, you know. And of course, my uncle knows basically cooking wise, he knows a lot as well. So like, he was like, you know, you kind of want them to go bad, but you kind of want them to go bad anyway. Basically, just being like, please take this box of apples off my fucking hands. So I did.
Simplifies the management.
Again, though, I've never made cider, so I think he said I can do the whole box if it'll fit in here. I don't know if it really will, though. I mean, maybe because there's like 3 or 4 layers of apples in here. I might have 1 layer left that he can have back, or maybe I'll make apple applesauce. Fuck, that was hard to say. But we'll see. But I know.
Automate payments using faulty.
I think he said fill it up with about
for a third-party solution and take back control of the whole process. Start to finish.
couple fermentation or a more fermentation where you're relying more on like outside stuff more so than the actual like Red Star yeast that I in a way, meaning like, and even with beer, if you just brewing in general, like, it can become very volatile if like pressures change, the temperature changes, shit like that. Specifically, what you need to do with these is once you get the water on them, you let them sit for a few days. They're basically rotting, and then that makes pectin in the water, which you'll mix it up. Not spoon, fucking get a cup of it out, essentially like a cup. Mix it with the Red Star yeast. Leave it inside till it gets maybe a little bit more, because it's fucking like 49 degrees outside actually right now. So you got to leave it, let it get a little warm. Mix it up real quick. Mix that little pectin apple water mixture with the Red Star yeast. Pour it back in here. But it will become very volatile. So you'll probably want to add a bung, which is those little bloopers that I told you about, and then also a blow off or something like that, which is basically just a hose into a thing of water. So if it does hit into this little bucket of water, it kind of stops. I've never had that happen, but it's just a matter of time. So I try to take. Oh no, not an apple on the ground. I try to take as many. Not take as many chances as I can when it comes to like brewing stuff, just because it's I fucking, if they explode inside, I'm gonna be so fucking irritated. I just know it, so I try to take as much care as I can while making them, and I'll watch them even after I add the yeast for like the next 10 or 15 minutes. Just because it's very quick. It's very quick and it's very hard to see, honestly. If you are not staring at that shit, you'll probably miss it. And then all of a sudden you're just gonna have a bunch of foam and shit on the ground. God forbid it's in bottles and they just get explode. My dad's been brewing beer, like I said, with my uncle. I don't even know because it wasn't like the entire batch. It was just randomly one or two bottles would just be maybe over CO2 or something. I don't know, and they would just fucking explode. And I was the one that would be, you know, home from fucking high school at the time, fucking 10, 15 years ago. Or probably around the time I was in a freshman. And I just remember it was a day like this, so it was super gloomy, real sad day. I think it was probably raining too. And I used to play video games in the front room, just take my dad's giant TV. Even when he came home, I would usually still just play games on it. So he had like his room in the backyard, which is funny because that's where I hang out now is the backyard. I love hanging out in the backyard. Um, and I was all alone in my house. It's fucking dark. It was probably at 6 o'clock, raining hard as hell, thunder. And I just, from behind me, like from where I am to my chair over there, boom, fucking explosion, bro. I'm fucking confused as shit because I'm looking around my house. There's nothing that is a sign of an explosion. And then I open these white boxes, like a little tiny fucking moving boxes. If you're moving like maybe a pet stuff or something, I don't know, like the little white foldable boxes. They used to store their beers in them. And it was like I probably put it out of my mind for like 20, 30 minutes. And all of a sudden I was like, it smells like fucking beer in here. It smells like beer all over the ground. And I'm kind of freaking out. Not that my dad would have been like, "You're drinking beer." He basically knew I didn't like beer, but I was nice. I didn't like things. So, but I'm in my head, I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna think I'm drinking his beer or something because it smells like beer around here. So I'm looking around and trying to figure out what the fuck it is, and I open the lid of one of these things, and it's like as I'm opening the lid, I hear this, and as I open it, it's like foaming just a tiny little bit, and glass is fucking everywhere, stuck to fucking everything in this little box. And being the worst kid, I left it there until my dad got home. Fucking like 8 hour, 9 hour workday. He got home, and I'm just like, "Hey, one of your beers exploded in the box." And he goes, "Did you clean it up?" And I went, "No." I didn't want to touch it in case I smelled like beer. And I could tell he was frustrated, but also kind of like, "No, you're weaponizing your incompetence. God damn it." And I kind of was. But I guess that's where my love of brewing stuff comes from. It's probably my father. The weed growing thing, I don't know where that came from. I'm just kind of, I won't say I'm great at it, but I'm pretty good at it. Like popping seeds, I'm not great at that. I can put some more keys in it, make it a little bit more resistant to the weather. Over there, that is like a door that goes all the way to the ground. And it was raining, and I was just watching the wind like beat the shit out of that thing, and I was just standing there like I had seen my fucking my squad mate get shot to death in front of me. I was so sad, dude. I got more ideas to strengthen it. Actually, well, I'm glad I have it now, just because there's nothing in it. I just finished up a season with pure outside, and it was okay. I'm definitely a bit better at growing inside like a greenhouse, though, because outside there's so much to fucking try to tackle and like not let happen or let happen. I overnutriated them at one point since they didn't have all this fucking area under them like they live as normal in my greenhouse. They just got overnutriated and like weren't able to like overnutrate them. So I couldn't add enough water to do it because they were in like that weren't super big. But Yeah, next time it'll be better because I'll be back in the greenhouse, and I won't have to fucking bend over. But this time, I spent my entire first season while growing in that fucking greenhouse, hunched over like this when this was a house that went like right over my fucking head. It sucked. But hold on. Going to the clinic. Ain't going to the clinic, baby. Bum, bum, bum.
So if you're ready to take on your pharmacy performance issue,
I also realized that my uncle, when he came here, he took my big fucking fermenter. I have one that's like almost twice the size. Well, not twice the size. I do have one that's twice the size. This one that's too fucking big. In case I fuck it up, I'm not willing to look at a fuck up that big. So it was this one or that fucking one that is 3 times the size of this one. But I have one that's twice the size of this one. But he took it the other day when he came. I think he literally was like, "Hey, you have those like big ones in the garage," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that'll be perfect for it." And then like as he was leaving, he was like, "By the way, I took your big one." And I was kind of like, "Oh, all right, that's fine." He's calling, and my dog are confused. God damn it! What the fuck is it? Fuck? Go get some. Let me go get my mom real quick.
Say goodbye to all of these nonsense. Here in this game, you'll only get pure RPG fun. No shortcuts, no VIP privileges. Instead, it is every companion you meet and every dungeon you clear that makes you stronger. So, dive in.
All right. Where's my? As me describe if you don't know what to do. I'm a high beat specialist. It's like they made me for the wheel.
I fell in love, I was online. Driving bumping like I'm dying. I took so many L's, I swear to God, I can't try. I did way too much wrong, I couldn't pay this one at a time. I'm in and out of space, all these different, I feel like it's a race. This 12's on my ass, girl, I almost caught a case. And we can take it slow, girl, I could follow your move. Mama see me down, my mama see me low. Since I was my nigga, I don't like no hoe. That's why I play for it. That shit, it take me out this hole. I keep my piss up people, I just said if it's hard. I never see you sometimes and do it like that. Feel in my heart, and now the dudes won't fight that. I never be for the everything, never won't fight that. And all we need to take like that. I have we did up on my ass and this case. I finished on it. Oh my god, I cannot wait. Thank God I've been so confident. My granny
What the fuck is that stuck to, bro? It's just like a tiny little bit of weed.
I had to get this moolah.
The fuck?
Niggas that took it real like a mule. I grew up with this stuff. On the water like a scuba. I wish I loved because I didn't know it sooner. I think I'm
There.
far. My head up in the sky. I think I'm reaching
For the stars.
my blood fat down, looking like I smoke cigars. And I be playing hoes just like I be playing guitars. I swear I'm never switching lanes. I never come around you cause you kick it with the legs. And that's really what we claim. And I be chasing sticking me and you isn't the same. Like, we ain't doing everything. Everything.
Damn. I'm gonna put my lighter somewhere where there's no apple juice. Apple juice is no apple juice. All right.
About the episode.
Back to cutting the fucking apples.
Just ask Google for a plan.
Jesus Christ.
So these are the culprits. Case closed.
So, it's even that different than what I normally do, I guess, with meat. It's really not because this is technically now a melomel. Maybe. I know that term mainly from mead making, which is when you make a mead and you flavor it with fruit. It's no longer mead, it's a melomel. So since this has two types of fruit in it, it's a melomel. Which I don't really know how the apricot plum thing is going to come through, but I'm just hoping it adds some sweetness because gala apples. These are just tiny gala apples. So they're not going to be like super sweet. Yeah. You can kind of tell they're gala apple. My camera will not focus on it, but you can kind of see the sandy fucking texture. So like gritty shit. Really good for making applesauce because of that gritty shit, but I fucking hate these. I hate eating them. Like a pink lady apple. That'd be good, but that would also mean that I would need to spend like fucking $80 box of fucking expensive apples. And this was free. This was literally thrust on me. I didn't even want to do it. But it gave me content. Which is fine. Speed up. Did I play the song?
When they're in your arms, Taylor's turning car seats turn to you to get them in and out with ease. Ready for adventure at every turn.
Usually when I make things with apples also I tend to use green apples. I like the sour, a little sour aspect. Ooh, green apple meat actually, that may be fucking good. I had never thought about that until now. Ooh, you know what? because my first mead that I made was a dupe of I don't know if any gamers are familiar with one of the greatest products ever made, but Mountain Dew Live Wire. I don't think they make it anymore. If they do, it's probably just like not in the U.S. But it was like something like electric orange flavor or some shit like that. It's just blood orange and kind of sour. So I duped it in my last mead that I made, but I also used actual fucking Mountain Dew syrup. Again, that my uncle brought. And it came out really good. It was I added that syrup during the fermentation process though, so it just kind of made it really fucking high alcohol percentage. My boy Jimmy, I explained it to him like it was like really cheap wine, so he immediately had like we're playing Warhammer, so he like slammed back like fucking quite a few cups of that shit, and he was unable to play Warhammer, which just for reference, in the time I'm not an avid player of Warhammer 40K. I love creating the minis. I love painting minis. And I do love playing the game. These are my only friends that play, and they all have jobs and shit, and they do stuff. So, I can't blame them. But I've never seen, and they've been pretty drunk in my house before too. You know what I mean? Like I'll get my fucking, I get drinks some boys when they come over. I think I have some whiskey still that my boy brought me from Japan. Not like it's expensive or anything. It's very cheap, but it's delicious. It's fucking good. But Jimmy was fucked. Drank like 6 cups of that fucking mead, and I'm not talking like a cup, like a measurement, like a cup, like you put a beer in. And he was sitting there, and he just kept going, "Move my character for me, Ethan, move my character for me. Rat, move my character for me. Rat, you move my character for me." It was so funny. He was like so twisted. And then the last one I made, that one that's more heavily fruited, it's obviously a lot less alcohol percentage wise high, but it's a lot sweeter. Like the other one was very like a lot of my homies were complaining. They were like, "This just tastes like orange liquor," which it kind of was. Honey liquor, but I liked it so much that I fucking gone. There's like I didn't even save any of it to age, try to get like a better taste out of. I still have my last mead. Oh no, these are good. I thought these were fucked up. I was gonna throw them away. I still have my last mead inside, in a vat, kind of aging in there. I gotta do something with it though. I guess I could back sweeten it with that one.